Hey, y'all. We got Piper joining us. I'm going to let her introduce herself in a second. But essentially, thought it would be good to get female perspective on the show going forward. And also, and hopefully it's, doesn't come off insulting, but somebody that hadn't been doing CrossFit as long as Corey and I. We've been doing it for quite a while. I don't think that we don't have the ability to relate to a new CrossFitter, but I also think that just knowing how long we've been doing it, some people may think that we don't remember what it was like. And also, just full disclosure, like we see somebody start and we think we've scaled it and gotten it really low, and then we find out that they got destroyed.
Maybe we didn't scale it.
Because while we still remember that we are really fit, it's also people are coming from not doing anything. And it's like, even when we started CrossFit, we were doing something. And I'll say that, Piper was still fit when she started CrossFit. But there's at least a more relatable degree of I started CrossFit. So, Piper, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name's Piper. If you're watching this, you probably have met me here. I've been at Aggregate for 2 years. I joined in March of my senior year of high school.
It's been 2 years.
It grows when you're
miserable.
Wow. I joined in March of my senior year of high school. Now I'm a sophomore at Mizzou studying nutrition and exercise physiology. Switched my major after joining CrossFit. Seems to happen to a lot of people. I got my L1 in October. Took the course with Bryce. Really enjoyed it. Made me re-fall in love with the sport. I've just been here ever since, not working on the things that they tell me to work on and working on the things that they tell me I'm already okay at. So.
Yeah, that's all of us.
Forgot to start that.
All right. So, again, we're excited to see the perspective. I don't know if she'll be able to join every week. Obviously, as she said, she's in college and has another job. So we'll see. But when she'll be here, she'll be invited to be on the group. For today, figured we'd talk about 23.2, something new in SugarWOD that we're eligible to do, that we'll talk about, and that's also what Piper's included. This is brand new to her. She has no idea what I'm even talking about right now.
Nope. Did not tell me what we were talking about today.
Nope, I never do. Most of the time we decided in about 5 minutes that we get here and get set up. And then we also got a comment from Fernando. So, I'd love to continue to get comments. So I want to make sure we answer the comments. So we'll just call the first part of the video answering comments.
Comment answering step. We need a really fun name.
Yeah, we'll brainstorm it.
Yeah, we'll get it.
So the question was simply, does when I eat matter before a workout? I have my thoughts that basically boil down to about 3 kind of things, but before I go there, I'm going to ask your all's thoughts. What do you think? Does it matter when you eat for a workout? And that may be, question was kind of vague, so are we talking about, does it matter for fat loss? Does it matter for performance? So you can answer the question how you want, and, they'll clarify it if we didn't get it answered.
Piper, go ahead. Give us your thoughts. So, it's your first one. Let's go.
I come from a performance-based eating background. I swam competitively for 12 years. Qualified for sectionals. Was trying to be a collegiate athlete. If you're trying, that kind of mirrors the competitive CrossFit aspect when people come here and they realize that that's something they can do. So I've kind of been eating for performance and only really know how to do that. So if you're trying to eat for weight loss or muscle growth goals, I haven't really gotten into that side of things so much. But I've always been told that eating beforehand is important. I'm going to put that in quotes. Some athletes perform better on an empty stomach and prefer on an empty stomach with a little snack afterwards, or like an intra-workout snack if you're doing a few workouts. I've always been like a granola bar and roll kind of person. Some people need to wake up at 6 a.m. and eat and then have 60 minutes to digest. use the carbohydrates from their meal and all that jazz. But I personally, sometimes I eat, sometimes I don't. I've never really felt a difference. I think it depends on who you are as an athlete. And I always try to eat even like a little something within an hour of being here. I think it helps your body recover just a little bit, depending on the workout we do. If it's Murph, you're going to want to eat a little bit more afterwards. Obviously.
So we got that barbecue after.
Yeah. As compared to like maybe a 2-minute workout or a max lift.
Corey?
So I agree with Piper. Oh, I didn't mean to put the air quotes around agree. I have also been told for however long I've been doing this that you need to eat. It's important. I've tried both. I feel better when I don't eat. I don't know why. I've tried eating. I've tried not eating. For me, if it's pre-workout, I like an empty stomach. I'll agree with Piper though. Usually, if I've got multiple pieces in a day, after that first workout, it is pretty important for me to get something in my stomach, just because I know that if I don't, my performance is going to drop off pretty hard afterwards. I know most people have like one solid class. We'll say a full hour of training in them fasted, but then after that, we need to look at getting some calories in. So that I would say I agree. Do I agree? I agree, right?
Yeah,
Let's say
that would be
okay.
similar.
Yeah, we agree.
So yeah, I think what all they said is true. I'm gonna talk about a couple of different studies, really, and that is the first one's Lane Norton. He posted, he's talking about fasted cardio versus unfasted cardio, and short-term responses versus long-term responses. And he's got the more technical terminology there for you, but it's, does fasted cardio burn more than unfasted? Well, immediately after, yes, fasted cardio, you're going to burn more. But then your body's going to slow down, and your overall calories for the day burned is a zero change from an unfasted cardio. So we've got to talk about short-term responses and the long-term effects that it has on your body. And right now, the current science is showing that there's no difference. For the most part, it continues to support calories in, calories out in terms of just overall weight, right? We're not talking about body composition here. Overall weight is going to be determined by calories in versus calories out. The timing of those things doesn't matter. We've had people with great results on keto because that's the diet that worked for them. That fit with their ability to eat and time their meals and plan them out properly versus somebody who eats the same amount of calories but is a grazer, right? Some people have the discipline to graze and stay within their calories. Others are going to blow past it, right? So it's very much what works for you. In terms of eating right before a meal, I'm always going to say you need something. You know the workouts that are coming up. In CrossFit, our workouts are so different on a day-to-day basis that what may work before today's workout isn't going to work before tomorrow's workout. So there's more onus on you to know the workout ahead of time. And I'd also say, like, there's mornings where I wake up and I started training with Corey and starting my Metcon at 7:30, 7:45, which is, an hour and a half, 2 hours before I normally do. My eating has shifted. I know I'm not the type of person that can get up and eat enough before 7:45, so I've been trying to eat more at night. And I still am trying to eat before I go to bed, the 2 hour window. But I know I've got to train, again, those calories. I just have to have more calories in reserve for when I wake up because I'm not going to eat in the morning. I've always been, an apple slice and peanut butter guy. I think it covers the bases. Post-workout, right, I like a little sour candy, or I'm gonna hit a drink.
Loves a little sour candy.
Creatine and HMB as a supplement that I like to try to hit after a hard workout. I do believe timing a meal after a workout is more important than before a workout. We can talk about, again, right now the current science is we want to spike insulin, which is sugar. And then that spike of insulin is going to carry all that protein to your damaged muscles and cells and all of that pushes everything out to the rest of your system. So I do believe that's still held as important in timing. But with science is not wrong. Our understanding of science goes deeper, changes, or we understand different mechanisms. So anything we're saying today could be changed tomorrow. I can guarantee that no matter what we said in here, you can find a study that cites something and says that we're incorrect. So at the end all be all, you have to be willing to try and not just intuitively try. You need to try and journal and try it for a week or two, see how it affects everything, and actually listen to your feelings and talk about it. Measure your performances, which we're always going to talk about in CrossFit, and then subtly tweak with what works for you. The other study that I talked about is simply, I posted it on Instagram just recently. Not a good day for the ball, but was the placebo. Right? We all know about the placebo effect.
Right.
But this study went further, and they had their control group, they had their non-placebo group, they had their placebo group. Then they had another group that took the placebo, and they were told they were taking the placebo.
Still works.
They still got performance increases.
Right.
Some of them. Now, it wasn't universal, right? But to me, that conclusively says something that I've long believed, and that is, if you think it helps, it helps.
Yeah.
Well, and hold on, keep going.
No, I mean that's really all I had there. But
there's one thing I did want to touch back on before I forgot. When I answered this question, I answered it for me.
Yeah.
And what I didn't think about, so I eat late at night, and I usually have 2 really big meals. I eat late at night.
At 6:30 p.m.
Yeah, I'm saying. So I eat relatively close to when I go to bed, which is usually at 8 o'clock, if that. And then when I wake up, I work out at 7. So I eat late and work out early. That's why, like, fasted working out for me is okay. I will say, if you eat at 6 o'clock p.m. and you don't come in and work out till 5 p.m., you need to eat, or you might fall out.
Yeah.
So that, like, I did want to put that out there, that, like, it does depend on
your schedule.
Your schedule when you eat. But yeah, it is one of those things where, like, if you think it works, it works. And the most.
To a degree.
Oh, to a degree. But the most.
You can't have 15 Dr. Peppers and tell me that it works. It doesn't.
Dr. Pepper.
And I'm not telling you not
Dr. Pepper 0.
I'm not telling you not to have 1. I'm telling you not to have 15.
But and it is, like, the most effective diet is the one that you're going to be able to stick with consistently.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Hopefully that answered your question, Fernando. If not, give us a shout.
You have other nutrition questions. Anyway.
Yeah. Or any questions, period.
Isn't that your thing?
Mm-hmm.
This is her thing.
I've tried. I'm only a couple years into it.
She is a master of nutrition. She knows every answer to any question.
And that's the other thing I'd say is I think Corey's working on his nutrition cert. I am very much what has worked for me. I'm not a nutritionist. I don't have degrees. I don't have certificates in this. Like, if it's real, important to you, it's not to say we can't work more in depth. We can, and we'll subtly tweak out. But always caution that.
The thing, and I from everything I've seen and experienced and read, like, unfortunately, there's no specific cookie cutter plan for a diet. There are rules you follow. There are general ideas, but really it is everything's a little bit different for every person.
And I think that's perfectly right. And I was thinking about this on the drive, and I forgot that this was my third approach, and that is my squat looks different than your squat, which looks different than Piper's squat. We all, at this point, most of us understand that our anatomy is different and that we're going to move differently. But there are general basic rules that we follow. So it's going to be the same thing on nutrition. My stomach may handle this and yours not. And I may have this response to this food and yours is lower. And those things, you can get blood tests or you can see food sensitivity tests and see where you're at on all those scales. But at the end of the day, that just comes from a lifetime of starting and then improving. Figuring out where things work. Again, we have all the general rules. We start with the general rules, and then we subtly tweak to optimize you and your response to what we're doing. We don't cue the same different athletes the same way. we're not gonna say nutrition the same way. Again, you need to initiate a squat. You need your hips, right? That's universal. Where are your knees gonna go? How far are your feet gonna be apart? What is your absolute max depth before you get a pelvis tilt? Those are all things that are gonna change, and I think that's the same thing with nutrition.
Genetics, age, gender, it all changes.
Yep.
How you can eat, what you can eat, when you can eat.
Absolutely. All right, 23.2.
Look at us.
Well,
we are killing the game
we
right
still
now.
have 2 more things to talk about. We're not killing the game. 23.2 game. It's not quite gone. Still have Monday until 7 Central Standard Time to do the workout and get it submitted. I had said 5. I forgot that they wrote it in PST. So it's 7 here that you have to get it done and submitted. For those of you that don't know, it's 15-minute AMRAP, 5 burpee pull-ups, 10 shuttle runs, adding 5 each time. On the burpee pull-ups, shuttle runs stayed the same in 15 minutes, 5 minutes to establish 1 rep max thruster. I love this workout. That doesn't mean I did great on it. I love this workout. Thought it was a good workout. I don't think it needed to be programmed for affiliates.
I see the run with the.
I mean, we ran 10 heats at a time. We honestly had one of our earliest Friday night lights that we were done. We got 60 to 70 athletes through. Very efficient day on our part. Most affiliates can't do that. So whether they dropped enrollment, whether they had a super late night, I feel for those affiliates. I think it's ridiculous to me that we're going to require 3,000 square foot of space, but bikes.
Still haven't seen an
just
echo bike.
aren't acceptable.
I know when Adrian watches this, as he will.
Yeah.
I know he needs to hear that there needs to be an echo bike in the open next year, or there'll be consequences. I will find it.
And again, I like the workout. My problem wasn't the workout. My problem wasn't our affiliate.
Really just throw that in the frame.
And how it was hosted here, or anything like that. I just think 80% of affiliates probably couldn't do it. And ours even matched the floor plan pretty dang well. We decided not to have you go into the pull-up bar, not because we didn't have space, but because of the turnaround.
Yeah, it would have been a little sketchy.
And I think CrossFit should have made that a standard. They should have realized that somebody was going to run into a rig pole. I haven't seen a fail video, but I guarantee you there's one out there.
And again, I don't want to say I like the workout at all. No. It was a good workout. But again,
well, it's not something you love. But
no, it's all stuff that and here's my rub. My weakness was always cycling a barbell. Yeah. So I was a little butthurt this year that there was literally no.
Well, it's not over yet.
It's not over yet, but you've already seen the barbell. I'm guessing double unders and dumbbell work. Yeah. But
I mean, I think we're done with the barbell.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. But hey, that's I guess.
I liked it. It rewarded you for being a generalist. You couldn't be a big, heavy, strong guy. No. Because you weren't gonna have a good enough score on 23 2A for it to matter.
And I can tell you from just my personalness, you couldn't be a big, heavy, sweet guy either, because I didn't do very well either.
You did all right.
Just the guy who's in second place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Technically, I'm in first because he didn't sign under our affiliate.
And Mike beat you.
Oh, Mike did beat. I thought you meant overall.
No. Technically, our best performing athlete is signed up under another affiliate. His home gym. I'm still gonna take credit. We're still gonna take credit for him.
Yeah.
I
just thought it was a little rude to smaller affiliates, which a lot of CrossFit gyms are.
Well, and I mean, we would have had a devil of a time running this workout had we not broken apart the rig. Finding the right pull-up heights and getting people in the right lane, had we not standardized bar heights.
Yeah, that would have been
a little bit. It was a disaster. Had we not had adjustable pull-up bars, it would have still been a disaster. And I know they said you could raise yourself up as much as necessary. How many gyms have that many gymnastics mats? Because your whole body has to lay on it. And then, again, you weren't allowed a springy floor, right? But the gymnastics floor is softer. You could argue that could deteriorate, or it could also make it easier to throw yourself down on the ground.
Yeah.
We want to standardize the test, and then we
Change.
don't standardize the
Well, you
test.
just put all these variables.
I understand that we have to allow everyone to try to do it, but I just think
Is he eating paint?
probably with some of the things that were like, oh well, you can shift this, but you can't shift that. It's like, all right. Also, and this brings me to something that just bothers me. Okay, so we clearly said in this workout height matters.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But we standardized it. So we said if you were 5'9" and a 6'1" reach, right, you had to be at this bar. But wall balls is the same target for everybody. How are we going to say that you can jump to whatever target's right out of your reach, but we're going to standardize a wall ball?
Yeah. Or I know.
Like we don't change a basketball goal
because of
because you're a little bit shorter.
That's what Mike always says whenever I have to do wall balls with him. I'm throwing to a 9-foot target and I'm above average height for a girl.
Yeah.
Mike's shorter than I am. He's got to throw a heavier ball higher.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the same argument with like step ups or box.
Well, yeah, and it's but it's just not applied universally. And you know, I'll say in the games, right, they made it to where the rings were the rings height. It didn't matter how tall you were. Yeah. And I get that most affiliates don't have their bars all even, so you can't just say a standard height. I don't have a solution, and I hate to complain and not have a solution to it, but
there needs to be a solution.
Well, I just think that if you're gonna acknowledge that height makes a difference, then let's say something like if you're over 5'8", you throw to a 10-foot target standard.
I know there's a girl at our old affiliate who was, I want to say like 6'2".
Yeah.
And watching her do wall balls was common.
And I also want to say that doesn't make it easier. Have you ever tried to throw to a 9-foot target?
Oh yeah, it's terrible. You don't get as much rest. Yeah. Like you are going.
Your timing's off. It's terrible.
It's weird. Well, it's like when we throw to an 11-foot target.
Yeah.
Like I told someone the other day, like, do you cycle your arms in a wall ball? And it's not unless I throw to 11, because 11 changes the timing.
Yeah.
9 does the same, only opposite. Yeah. You don't have as much time.
Yeah. It's like trying to do a 2-for-1.
Right.
So I thought that was interesting. Watching some people measure. You know, we were getting a lot of, we're getting a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Bellner specifically. I watched him measure. I'm like, bro, you can put your whole palm above that. You're really going to tell me you can't go straight arm?
He set his lats down.
Yeah, his lats are down, his shoulder blades are down.
Traction going on.
Yeah, and then it was like, how much can I bend my arm? And I'll give credit, his judge went up and pushed his elbows.
His judge.
But then when it did, his fingertips went above, but then they still okayed it. And I'm like, what are we doing here?
I know that, man, my lats are just feeling real tight when I measure my bar.
Yeah, right? Definitely don't do the mobility work on your lats until you get done measuring and fighting your pull-up bar.
I like the lifts after the Metcons.
Fatigue lifts, I think, are more fun.
I just think like the energy was pretty awesome.
I was super thrilled to see a max lift back.
Although
rats and have not been in the last couple of opens, I don't understand.
There's
or at least a heavy ladder, like it's part of our sport. You need to be able to lift heavy.
Well, and there's no like during Metcons, AMRAPs, getting this and that, like there's energy, there's hype, but nothing hypes people up like a heavy lift after a Metcon.
Well,
or even in a Metcon.
You know, and they've made the open where it's more about gymnastics and conditioning in the first stage, but because you're going to all the other stages. But I think that's missing a key component, and that is fun for your affiliates and your members.
Oh, yeah.
They want to test a ring muscle up. Some of them. Those that don't won't get there. It doesn't matter. They want to test a max lift. They want to do all the things on the pyramid, not just the base, because in the next test, you're testing the next thing. Like CrossFit is a fully encompassing, can't be a specialist sport. Honestly, you're rewarding the open for being an aerobic and gymnastics specialist in years past. They've done better this year.
Well, for most, as you progress through your CrossFit career, at least most people, the other stuff is a lot of it's more fun. Like the higher you get on the pyramid, the more fun it is. The weightlifting's fun.
Yeah, but to take that out for what they did the last 2 years for the affiliates because of the new model, I thought sucked some of the fun out of it. Again, I'm not saying it's not a good test. I'm not saying it's not foundational. I'm not saying it doesn't match the pyramid. I'm saying it wasn't fun.
I will say, the max lift they chose this time was the worst. Literally my absolute, other than a strict press, worst lift. But it was still nice to have it.
Yeah. I've also seen lots of hubbub about this thruster shouldn't have counted this. Could you take a step forward? I've seen redips, and this. If you have to look at it, and I think this should be in all sports in slow motion,
it should count.
It should. I would say it should count.
Oh,
right. If you have to change the ruling by going through slow motion, come on, you've lost the forest for the trees. I think slow motion review should be banned in all sports.
Just call it how you see it.
Call it how you see it, because now we're splitting hairs. Was it an egregious no rep? Was it an egregious stepping out of bounds? Right. I think we're missing the act and spirit of competition when we have to slow things down and go frame by frame. And I did this a couple of times scrolling through Instagram. God love the gyms that posted all their videos. I don't really know what they were thinking.
Saw a couple.
I've seen hundreds of videos. I've never seen a judge in a position they should have been in. They, like, my 10-year-old son was graded harder, judged harder than 90% of the affiliate videos.
Didn't your son get Mike as a judge?
He did, okay. But I'm thrilled about that.
Yeah.
The standard is the standard, and could most of our athletes probably have gotten a better rep or score at any other affiliate?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Does that mean we're wrong? Nope. Because if we devalue our standard because every other affiliate holds a lower standard, all we've done is lower the curve. Right. We are not about that. We are about improving, trying to get everybody to drive up to us. Is that going to hurt you a little bit? Sure. I'm sorry. We have standards and we're going to push it to them. And I'm very proud of what we do there and enforce there. But yeah, I certainly saw things. And again, I'd look at it and I'd be like, no rep. And then I'd have somewhere I'm like, I don't know. That split second, it's a good rep. Yeah. Because if you have to go through that, I don't think so, man. Because you're watching that even at full speed 2, 3, 4, 5 times. If you don't know, as soon as you see it, it's a rep. In my opinion.
I love judging. It's probably, I like being an athlete, but the open workouts usually don't favor me. Like there's usually nobody. You know what I mean? The last year, which was my first open, there wasn't a machine at all.
Gymnastics,
which is the thing that they tell me to work on that I don't work on.
What did you show the camera?
My hands, I reopened them this week. I'm praying we don't get back up on the rig next week.
I would be surprised if we're back on the rig. We should be done with it.
But I think judging is probably one of my favorite parts of the open. I love judging competitions too. And people always tell me when I talk to like first-time judges, people who are coming to work out, and they're like, okay, well now I have to judge a heat. Like, well, how do you no rep somebody? No rep.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
It's not.
And I get where people think it's hard because they're really trying. But the other people before them and the people after them are also really trying. And if you don't know rep them, you've helped one person, but you've hurt 15.
Yeah. Like I judged for 2 hours straight here. I judged all the way through until the half-hour heat before I went. Just because I love it. I like doing it. I like watching people hit lifts and get PRs and get farther in a workout than they think they're going to. And nobody ever gets mad at you for a no rep. Like, again.
I wouldn't say nobody.
Well, yeah. Usually, especially in the open. If we're talking like a competition, I feel like it's more heated there. Yeah, but in the open, I feel like people care a little bit less.
I'd say like almost, I think every no rep I've ever got, like, I knew.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's definitely
like,
a no rep.
I no rep Cooper last week. Yeah. And I was like, sorry, like he would have probably gotten farther on his row back into the second round if I hadn't. Right. But his wall ball didn't hit, and that he told me.
I've no rep myself during a competition.
Oh yeah.
Your judge didn't no rep you? You did?
Yeah. I was doing the shell runs, and I understand how I got there, but I went after my vertical pull-ups, touched the line, and came back. Mike was like 2. I was like, no, that's 1.
Yeah.
right? I could have allowed it.
Yeah.
Maybe he would have caught it. Maybe he wouldn't have. And I do think he would have caught it. I think he was in the process of catching it when I said one and showed one. Mistakes happen on judging parts too, just as much as athletes. So while I sat there and looked at the gyms and some of their no reps, I didn't go out of my way to comment. I'm not naming the gyms or the athletes,
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I do believe they were trying to do it correctly. I can sit there and look at the first year I was a judge and ran the Open.
Oh yeah.
My eye versus what my eye is now.
It changes.
It changes, and as long as you're trying to improve, like, I'm on your side. If you're trying to skirt the rules, not on your side.
I'm less on your side, and we've seen that in competition. We had a comp once where like the standard of movement wasn't specific enough.
Yeah.
And athletes took advantage of it.
Oh, absolutely.
But then they got judged much harder. So like I don't know, like I don't want to say it evened out, like it was still kind of crap. And like at the end of the day, my whole thing, like if I ever get a no rep, then I'm like, I don't know about that. End of the day, like I get one more rep to make it better, so then that problem doesn't happen in the future.
Yep, absolutely. Running out of time here. We're gonna go a little bit over, but real quick,
I set it for another 5 minutes.
After this?
I knew.
So in SugarWOD, I found out that we have the ability to add as many tracks as we want. Right now we're at 5 or 6 or whatever they give us, which brought up personal programming and our ability to do so. And it's not a super big cost to add it for the whole gym. But the way that I kind of envisioned it, if people would be interested, is basically you would have a track that would be called Piper, right? And as it would grow into it, you could tell us by X, let's say Sunday morning, right? Because this is kind of how I'm thinking that we do it. You tell us by Sunday morning what classes you're coming into for the week. We go through, and we've already before this, we've sat down. We know your goals. We know what you're trying to get to. We customize the workout. We write and change what the class workout is specifically for you, right? No matter what the workout is that day, we're going to then align some of the different moves or different rep schemes to your goals. If you want an extra work because you're trying to get a new skill, if you want an extra metcon, if you want extra strength, or anything like that, those are things that we can add to your track. And so it becomes hybrid/personal programming. We've seen a lot of people go out and buy personal programming from other places. Those places don't know.
They don't know where you're at.
They don't know the program that you're doing in the gym. They're not altering the work that you're doing, so you can get dramatic overuse. If you're in the wrong cycle with us and your program that you bought doesn't know about it because they don't, then you're going to get overuse. And you're not necessarily going to get better because they're not seeing, most of the times you're not giving them video and feedback. But Corey, myself, Piper are here all the time. And this can go into adding nutrition, into SugarWOD. We can assign targets and have you be tracking, and set up goals and accountability for you.
Or just give general direction.
Yeah. Just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because now you got to pay a little bit more to get a little bit more.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's it's going to cost us extra time and effort and thought, which we don't mind doing.
Yeah.
But it's better than coming in here with, doing the workout and then just kind of wasting another half hour of your time, kind of aimlessly doing random nonsense. Yeah. Especially if you have specific goals.
And like I said, I thought the kind of plan would be is like, hey, we got our 10 athletes or 15 athletes or whoever that are doing this. 3 of us come in, shoot our video. I mean, I have to coach, but then we sit down and we're like, all right, we've got blank. This is their goal. These are the days they're coming next week.
We got Piper coming in 4 days next week, and her goal is to get a set of 10 toes tomorrow.
Yeah. And so this is what we're going to look at. This is what we're going to change the workout to. yes, a lot of that we do on the fly as coaches, but on the fly versus sitting down with the team, 2 to 3 people, and having the time and, you know, foresight to know when you're coming in. And we've got this, you know, template of like, this is, you know, Jane Doe, this is our goal, this is yada, yada, yada. It's going to make it a lot more, I think, effective.
And you get to kind of, I guess, plan it knowing that there is consistency in it. I don't know how to, you know what I'm saying? That it's going to be a 3 to 4 times a week movement that they're going to practice, or that they're hitting their nutrition.
Or we move right individual cycles, whether it's injury recovery, or whatever.
Could be anything.
Yeah.
Like if you want bigger calves, like we could make that happen.
Although I'm just gonna say, I think that's a lot more genetics than
I don't know.
But maybe that's just because I got tiny little bird legs.
It's all right, Joe. We'll get you on that personalized programming. We'll get you some beefy.
Is that what it is?
As an athlete who like frequently has to scale, I kind of am always badgering, like, if I come to 3:30 and Joe's here, I'm like, hey, like I did XYZ yesterday. We had the similar movement. I did this. Should I just do that again? Joe will be like, well, do you want to do that again, or do you want to do something else? I feel like it would kind of be beneficial knowing coming in, like, how I'm going to scale that day, what I'm going to do instead. Do I do a zombie press instead of handstand push-ups? Do I do pike push-ups? Or like, what will help me achieve that goal best? Because I am an athlete who frequently has to scale.
And we get to control the exposure while I think still keeping it new and fresh. And I think every coach has the same 2 to 3 quick solutions.
So if we can plan it out, we can probably get
planning out in time, but also just having 2 or 3 other people that are contributing to the decisions. I may have the thing that I like best, and if I'm always your coach, you may be missing something that somebody else likes best that may or may not be more effective for you, but it's worth a shot. And I think, you know, an aggregate approach to your fitness journey is going to lead you to where you want to be quicker. So we're going to wrap up now with that beat. Even though the clock reset, so we got another 30 minutes.
Another 35.
I did want to shout out, I doubt he watches this, but apparently Jordan Howell stayed and mopped the old gym last night. I thought he was just mopping like this area. And I even told him, I'm like, hey bro, I scrub tomorrow. Like, you don't need to do this. But the gym was quite a mess after Friday. So I just wanted to say that Jordan, I see what you did. I appreciate you. It does, you know, mean a lot. I don't know if you thought I was talking about you on my post. I wasn't. You stayed and judged.
Keep it up.
But again, I see when people go out of their way to do extra, and it's always appreciated. I just want to focus more on appreciating the people that do the extra work versus maybe calling out the people that don't. I feel like that's not a healthy approach, and that's on me to fix. So, yeah. Any last words? Wisdom?
We got for Piper.
Come to Wednesdays, 3:30 and 4:30.
Hey, there you go.
Come hang out with me, make me a better coach.
There we go. All right, like, subscribe, comment if you have anything you want to discuss.
Mic check 1 2.